Alright guys, welcome to this section of the course where I will be talking about which type of store you should pick to start out with, okay? Now this is very important. Of course, this will dictate essentially where your drop shipping journey will lead to. So make sure that you pick the right kind of store here, and I will outline exactly which type of store I prefer as well as just the different types of stores that you can create. And I will also show you examples of each one. In terms of successful stores out there that I have found for you, so that you can kind of look those over on your own time and essentially analyze what makes them so successful. So picking the type of store that you want and should make is very important. Now the two options you really have here are a general store or a niche store. So what is a general store? Now a general store, of course, is the everything store. Amazon and eBay are the best examples of what a general store looks like. Of course, general stores will have all sorts of products, very trendy products, very popular products, as well as some not so trendy and popular products. Of course, it can be anything, and that's where a lot of people start out as general stores, especially with Facebook ads. Some of the most successful drop shipping stores out there have been general stores, because with a general store you can very easily capitalize on trends. Now, of course, with a niche store, so what a niche store is essentially like a particular hobby or interest shop. Very easy to see those. For example, Lululemon, it's a fitness, yoga pants store. Fashion Nova, just women's fashion. Now think Amazon department categories. That's going to be a really good way to actually find niches to dive into, but that's not what this section is about. I'm just outlining the types of stores. Now, so a general store, like I said, will be mainly selling hot products. It has a dispersed amount of niches. Like, it's not very specific. It can be anything. Now, like I said, here is an extremely solid example of a general store. Now, this Shopify store does insane numbers on a monthly basis, so this is very awesome to check out. Here it is. EpicShoppy.com. So like I said, make sure that you go check it out on your own time as well. I'll do a quick analysis right now, but it's very important that you do a lot of competitor research. It's very important to get ideas and inspiration from other stores to really make sure that your store is the absolute best that it can be. Now, of course, as you can see, this is very general. They're capitalizing here on the Marvel trend, clearly, but look, right away, we get some like makeup stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Now some pet stuff. This, it's really incoherent, but that's kind of the basis of a general store. It can be anything at all. Now, of course, as you can see, they're testing the fishing rod as well. No big deal. That's one of my winners currently. We'll see if it still continues to be a winner, for the months to come. But it is at right now. This one is a solid winner. Of course, I've had this product myself. This is perfect for like Mother's Day. And of course, just any birthday. Whatever it can be, also for your couple goals, whatever you want to call it. But of course, this is very important to look at. Now, as you can see right here, they have this banner: buy two for an additional 15% off. So essentially, if you buy more than one, you'll get it at a discounted price. Now, there is an app that allows you to do this that's much better than any of these things, and it's called it's called Quantity Breaks. Now, in the app section of this course, I will show you exactly how to integrate that into your store. But for this one, I'm just analyzing this. And as you can see, they have a big buy now button, which is very important. They're using Recart, and yeah, they have all these badges and whatnot. So pretty average, general store. They're probably doing decent sales. Let me just check out here with my Commerce Inspector tool, which, like I said, in the product research section of the course, I did cover where you can actually get the Commerce Inspector tool and how you can use it. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't, just so that you can look at competitors and get a really good idea of what other people are doing, which is super important, guys. And what we'll do is we'll click Best Selling here. I just kind of want to see what their descriptions look like for their bestsellers. Okay, clearly, their bestsellers is not working. What that tells me is that they have a blocker on their store. Totally fine, no big deal. We'll just move on here. So we'll just keep presenting this. Now, an example number 2 here is buyshopdeals.com. Now, this one, in my opinion, is a little bit more professional. I like the store a lot more. This store just looks very good. It doesn't have a slideshow. It just says we ship everywhere for free. Now that is, of course, a huge selling point for people, guys. This is why I typically charge free shipping worldwide, for this main reason. They have the turbo theme, as you can see. and that is one of my favorite themes, but it is very pricey, so I don't recommend you use it, at least at first. Money back guarantee, perfect. Everything is awesome. So now what we'll do is we'll try to see the bestsellers on this one. Maybe it'll load them. Nope. Deal with it. That's funny. So you know, some shops will have it blocked like that, and it's no big deal. We'll just click shop here, and we'll look at some of their. Let me see some of their descriptions here. So let's just look at. We'll look at accessories. Accessories are usually pretty trending. Oh, auto head and tail light tinting film. I feel like this could be a solid winning product, especially for if you target car lovers. Now, I really like what they're doing here. Hurry up, 22 left in stock. Let me see what are some of the apps they're using here, because infinite options. Okay, cool. Now let's see. Hurify, of course, I see that. And they're using Hurify in a really nice way. Usually, I'm not a big fan of Hurify, but they're making it look really nice on their website. So this site in particular, I really, really like. Nice, nice. Okay, perfect. Alright, so they have reviews. They're using Ollie reviews, which is a little surprising. You know, usually I use Looks reviews. It's my favorite app, and like I said, I cover that in the app section of the store. But this particular store, guys, come check it out. See it for yourself. It's really, really good. So that's another example of a general store. Now, a niche store, guys. Let's move on to the niche stores. Niche stores are, of course, more interest-specific. They're mainly for hobbies, passions, you know, all of those things. And the best example I can give you, which is one of the most popular examples, is a cat store. So the Just Cat store right here. Now, this store in particular, I'm not sure if they're actually drop shipping or not. I'm sure they maybe have oh wow, that's pretty funny. So they pretty much have, I don't think this is a dropshipping store actually. It looks to me like this is just a regular store. But still, these stores are very, it's a Shopify store though. And these stores are amazing to get inspiration from because obviously they're doing something right. Let's look at their best-selling products. Let's see kind of what they're selling. So their best-selling product is some catnip spray. Now, of course, this is very, very good product research ideas, but that's not what we're here for. We're just looking at the store design just to kind of get ideas. Now, they have Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Perfect. Their store is very basic, but of course, it works. It's minimal, it's simple, but it's high quality, and that is what sells, guys. So here is another example. So another example here of a niche store is Boho Luxe Jewelry. So let's just look at this real quick. Now, of course, jewelry is an amazing niche mainly because of the high perceived value. You know, some of this stuff goes for $65, $35, look at even $115. I'm sure this doesn't cost them more than $20, so that is an insane margin. And yeah, this is another great way to get inspiration from. They're using the parallax theme. That's a really good theme. I've used it in the past as well. Let's click the best selling here. Let's see if it shows us anything. Okay, perfect. So their best selling product is actually this African turquoise necklace. Interesting. So this, like I said, is a great idea of products that you could potentially sell yourself. Of course, you know, niche stores are very, very potentially, you know, brandable. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, a general store, typically very hard to brand. You know, your products are so far out there in terms of like, you know, they're so spread out across so many different niches. It's kind of hard to really brand. So which type of store should you choose? Now, this is one of the most asked questions I get, honestly, on my YouTube channel and just in general because people just don't know where to begin. So my recommendation, and this is exactly how I go about creating any sort of store, and if you go to the live creation section of this course, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I always go with a general niche store. So I always start general and then start niching down to a broad niche. So I don't ever go too niche down like, you know, a particular, like cats, for example. If I was to make a cat store, instead I would make a pet store. So no specific pets, just pets in general, farm animals, anything. So just an animal or pet store. Another example would be like a gadget store. It's not a specific electronic. It can be anything, okay? It's not really just about one specific niche. It's a broad niche. Health and beauty is also a very good example of this. You know, it's not makeup specific. It's not fashion specific, not beauty specific. It can be anything. And same with the fashion store. It's not just, specific apparel. It can be any type of apparel and accessories. So this is the type of store that I encourage you to create. So if you pick a specific niche and you don't want to listen to that advice, it's totally fine. If you have a niche that you know a lot about and a lot of people are very passionate about, you can totally dive into that niche. And trust me, there are benefits to that, because when you do that, you actually feel more motivated to work on your store if you actually are excited about it. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit hard to start as a general store, a niche store, mainly because you're really limiting yourself to the amount of products that you can test, or not the amount of products, but the kind of products that you can test. You can only test products within your niche, which is very limiting, especially when it comes to product testing. And this is the biggest reason why I encourage you to start a little bit in between, because then you can test a bunch of different products, capitalize on trends, and still niche down after you find those winning products. Now, you can pick a general store as well. Those, like I said, some of the most successful dropshipping stores are general stores. But the reason why I don't recommend you do that is because they do take a lot. They're not very long term. Now, it's a very great way to start. A general store is extremely well, and obviously people make hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars with general stores. But like I said, it's not extremely long term. There's not much back end to when I say back end, I mean email marketing, for example. You can't really build a solid brand with a store that sells a bunch of different things like Amazon. Amazon has done it, but it's gonna be hard to do that with drop shipping products from China. So that's pretty much it for this section, guys. So make sure that you're picking a general store kind of at the beginning and then niching down. If you can't pick a niche, that's pretty much where I always start, honestly. But like I said, if you know a niche very, very well, you're passionate about it, there's a lot of passion out there for it, and that there's a lot of products that you could potentially sell, then by all means start with a niche store. But trust me, it will be a lot easier to just start a little bit more broad at the beginning and then start niching down once you find successful products. Now, I'll see you guys in the next section of this course. This one is it. Hopefully you got a lot out of this one, and make sure you pick the right kind of store.